Hi guys, what's happening? This is gonna be part 7, Project Sarahlee. I took about a week and a half off because I was on a hunt, so we're gonna get back to it. I did a couple of things already on the car. I just pre-mounted the center console, and I'll show you guys that. And then right now I'm getting ready to cut this little lip off so the trans cooler can fit in there, slash supercharger cooler. And then I also got this little guy in, a little plug for the OEM fan, Radiator Assembly right here. That plugs right into that little plug right there. The part number, I got it from Goose, the guy that's doing a 68, I believe. I think it's a 68 charger or 69 charger on YouTube. And he's got the part number for this guy right here. I recommend you watch some of his videos if you have any questions on working on these and the way to set them up. He's got pretty good details on what to do as far as plugging the fan into it with the pulse modulation, doing the pin swap on the ECU connector so that it'll work with the pulse modulation for this thing. He goes in really good and in really good detail about it, so that's where I got my information from. Shout out to him. I've asked him questions and he's actually replied, which is really cool. Very helpful guy. And so right now I'm about to cut this out and kind of test fit the cooler there, and then I'll show you guys here the center console. So right now this is where the center console is going to go. The shifter's just kind of loose in there. I already have the Sound German plugged into it, but it's in there pretty solid. It ain't going nowhere. So that's pretty much where it's going to live. So, all right, let's get to cutting. Look at that. That almost fits perfect in there. Now this one right here, sandwich like that. I'll poke a hole through the firewall right through here and then meet it up with the one for the actual radiator. So it'll sandwich the little firewall or little wall there. And then those two holes there, I'm gonna bring the lines for the transmission cooler right there. I still gotta figure out how I'm gonna route those because it gets pretty tight up in this side. But I mean, I'm sure I'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about that. So now I guess I'm gonna try and mount this and then hopefully run some cooling lines. Once the cooling lines are done, I'm gonna put all the fluids in it and then get this wiring figured out. So we get the power distribution module. That's where it's pretty much going to be. Probably aiming it towards like that. We got the computer for it. This little bracket came on my old harness. On the harness came with the engine, so I used that. I'm gonna just mount it onto this wall here. I'll run a ground, from here probably to the engine into the body, and then I had to move my fuel pressure regulator. I'm gonna do it up against the firewall instead of the side, just because I didn't have any room to put this on the firewall, and I didn't want to cut a big hole in the firewall to get these connectors to go through the firewall. So that's where that's gonna live, and then yeah, we should be ready. I got one wire harness for the fuel pump pressure regulator. I got them running through in here somewhere. Let me see if I can get a light. Got one right through the wall there, and then the transmission one I'm gonna have through that bottom wall or the bottom floor here. I'm gonna see if I can get a grommet to fit that, and then I already have it plugged into the transmission. So, and then the center console is on. I'm gonna hide a lot of the wires underneath that console because there's quite a bit of room. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, getting ready. Getting a lot done. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon we'll hear a run. All right, so I got a little carried away. I didn't get to film all this, you know, the process of me mounting this thing on here, but it's pretty solid in there. I got everything wired up already. I got the Sound German Engineering kit already, well, you know, wired up. That's the module for it. It's bolted up to the box, the heater box. Got the wires running through the bottom right here, and then pretty much just tucked everything underneath by the driver. I got the OBD2 for the transmission, and I got one for the engine harness. So I'll be able to hopefully diagnose if anything goes wrong with it. Yeah, the plug and play kit was actually really easy. The Sound German, everything is labeled, so you can't really mess up as long as you have a little bit of an understanding of where your wires are. So I mean, I wired this whole car up, you know, prior to this build. I actually built this car from the ground up. I found this car in a field. I mean, thrashed. Maybe I'll go into the story of how I got the car, but for now, like I said, I rewired everything on the car, so I know pretty much what wire does what as far as to what I did. So it was actually pretty simple to wire up the Sound German kit to this thing. You know, it's labeled. You got your constant power, you got your switched power, and then you got your RPM output and your speedometer output and your reverse lamp output. And on the reverse lamp output, Goose goes into very good detail on how you can't just use that for your lights, because it doesn't provide 12 volts. It only provides 5 volts or something like that. So you have to use a separate relay switch for that. So you'll supply the voltage to the relay, and then the relay supplies the 12 to the reverse lamps. I didn't do that yet, and I'll do that down the road. But because right now I want to kind of get it started, and to get everything going, I kind of put temporary power. You see the battery just kind of chilling up there. I put temporary power just so that I can check power to, you know, where my gauges were and everything. But that's what it looks like in here. Look at, I got power to the my I actually haven't even tried that, but that's really cool. I got power to the Sound German, and I wonder if it'll actually work. Push on the brake. Yeah, it works. That's cool. See, earlier it was just locked into place. I had to manually push a little switch down there, but now I push on the brake and I can, actually it won't let me, let me put it back in the park. So, but I can manually unhook it, and earlier it wasn't even letting me move it at all. So that's actually pretty cool that it actually works. Maybe because I don't have power to the module just yet. Just I got power to that. That made it so that it would move. That's actually pretty cool. I haven't even seen it lit up like that, but that's really cool. That's exciting. So I'm like just a couple of steps away from actually firing up the car. I ordered the oil and the coolant for this today actually, and I don't know what's today. November 22nd is when I ordered this stuff. So we'll see how fast it takes me to get this thing fired up. And let me turn power off to that. Then I'll show you what I've done so far in the engine side of the thing. So I said I got this. This is ready to get mounted. Like I showed you in the previous deal. I got my power distribution module here. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to finish wiring up my fuel pump module, which is this is part of it. This one goes to that, and then I ordered an inline fuse. I couldn't find one at AutoZone or O'Reilly. I went to Advanced Auto Parts. None of them had a 10 gauge inline fuse kit for anything, so I had to order one. And then my fuel pump module comes through the firewall there, goes underneath my carpet, grounds out about here, and my wires go in the body from here and then back to the fuel pump. And the module is underneath the carpet in here, so that's where it's going to live. Hopefully nobody steps on it once I have the rear seats in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate hopefully some Challenger seats back here, you know, modern day Challenger seats. I have the original back seat for this, but it is too far gone. The springs on it are rusted away. I would have to pretty much get a whole new frame for it, and I think the new Challenger look will look pretty cool in there, since I have the console out of a modern day car, and it works. That's really cool. It's exciting. So let's get to it, and I'll catch you guys on the next part.